Well, here I am, Shirley. I'm going to go ahead and start early. Oh, yeah. Some of y'all are already showing up anyway. Good evening, Adam Wolf, Wesley Dixon. So glad y'all could join me tonight. Come on, everybody else. Y'all, there's Brian Dunlap. Brian, I've got a message coming to you later. Matt Gaston, how's it going, brother? Well, here I am, here I is, and we are ready to get down to biz here on Break On Through. Episode number 2 for 2025. And man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to bring on my special guest here in a minute. But I'm going to give it a minute or so, and then I've got a few announcements. And then we are going to get down to the meat of the matter. Hey, Michael. Hey, Alan. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming. It ain't Tuesday night unless you're sitting around with old JC breaking on through, is what I always say. All right, a few announcements. I know that when you wake up every morning, because you're working class and you're getting ready to go in to the job, when your feet hit the floor, the first thing you think, the first thing that comes into your mind is like, man, when am I going to get to see ANTiSEEN live again there, Halls? Well, man, I can go ahead and put that to ease right now and tell you when those are. March 6th, March 2025, day 6. We will be in Piedmont, South Carolina at Tribbles. And from what I understand, we will be, the opening group will be Zeg Hembray's new outfit. Blue Ridge Death Cult, live in Tribbles in Piedmont, South Carolina. The next night, March 7th, we will be at the Star Bar in Atlanta. Now, you know from the last time we played in Atlanta, you know ANTiSEEN pulled something out from their sleeve. That's what we're known for. We're not known for rock and roll, so we're known for our magic tricks that we do and make everything we do a big event. So who knows what's going to happen in Atlanta on March 7th at the Star Bar. And on March 8th, it'll be our first time ever in Fairhope, Alabama. We will be at Johnny Mac's. And sharing the stage with us that night will be Kelsey Ray Copeland and Future Hate. That's right, it's real close to the Mobile area. Tickets are on sale for this one right now. So you want to make sure you got you a spot, you go ahead and get you a ticket today, tonight. Do it right. All right, a couple announcements, and then I'll bring my guest on, and we are going to talk and talk, jump and squawk, because we got a lot to say. But first, I'm going to get a little bit on the serious side right now. I want to extend my condolences to Joe Charles. Joe was the original drummer in Bloody Mary way back in the 90s. And I just wanted to say, offer him mine, and I speak for everybody in ANTiSEEN and in the firm and the extended family, that we are sincerely sorry for the passing of your father yesterday. So, Joe, take care, brother. And, you just know, your dad's going to be taken care of, So, and you will be in our prayers tonight. Now, back to more sunshine, happy day news. Sir Barry Hannibal. What does that name bring up to you? It probably brings up drums to most of you, since he is one of the most talented premier drummers in the United States today. Heck, you know what? Scratch that United States business, the world today. And we got him in ANTiSEEN. But you know what? He has also done shows with such legendary groups as Cocknoots, Lime Cell, Alcohol Unanimous, Conqueror Worm. He's done many variations of a Pink Floyd tribute band. He is in a band right now with my guest, their Alice Cooper tribute band called Love It to Death. He has also played drums for the Dead Kings, which is also a connection to my guest. But this coming Saturday, you're going to get to see him expand his resume with one more band that he's going to play for. And this has a lot to do with the ANTiSEEN camp, the Long Hair Weirdo Records camp, since we released a CD by the Self-Made Monsters. That's right, Self-Made Monsters this Saturday night at the Rooster in Gastonia, North Carolina. The Self-Made Monsters with special guest Sir Barry Hannibal on drums. Now, you don't want to miss that, so make sure you plan accordingly. Now, without further ado, I will bring on my special guest. Those of you in ANTiSEEN land, this guy's name and face is not going to be it's not going to be a stranger to you. You're gonna know this guy. Heck, I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. Steve Wensil.
What's up, man?
Come on in, brother.
Make sure I don't spill this coffee.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Man, Barry with the monsters.
Self-Made Monsters, man. Can you believe that? That's gonna be something. You had a little trial with the Self-Made Monsters, didn't you?
I played 1 or 2 practices with Eddie, and man, it was amazing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that is above my pay grade. I mean, I'm a 3-chord guy. These guys here was all over the place. It was jamming, and a couple times me and Eddie hit it tight, and it was good, buddy. It was fun, but I can't wait to see that with Barry's son.
Well, listen, Steve, I want you to scoot in some.
All right.
Like under the table, yeah, and then over. I know you got some stuff you got to get under there,
right.
which we will make room for that. I'm going to move this around a little bit and see if I can get you in this frame better. Everybody be patient with us. We're going to do a little bit of psychedelic testing here. There we go. That's good. That looks good. That looks good. There, that's too much.
Dang, I didn't realize she cut that much off my hair, man.
Man, you. If I was going to describe you to the cops, I'd say, that guy with the short hair.
I told her, I said, cut like 3 inches off, and all I heard was boom when he hit the ground.
They cut off a bale of hair, didn't they?
I didn't say nothing.
All right. Well, Steve, we are celebrating something tonight. People have known about this. People have known about this now for a few days that it's on sale, but I'm going to let you take the beginning of this story, since people always think these projects are my mastermind ideas, but they're not, man. Sometimes I just jump on them. And what I'm talking about is our new CD, Clayton and Wensil, Songs from Home. It is available right now. You can get it. You can go to the ANTiSEEN store.bigcartel.com. Clinton, if you are here, please put up the link to ordering Clayton and Wensil. All right.
Mondo just called me Scott.
Yes, I saw that. And listen, we did this before we came on. We each have 6 copies autographed. So if you order these tonight, you can put in the note, hey, I want one of them autographed copies. I got 6. Steve's got 6. We're not charging extra for that. It'll be the same. You just let me know you want it. But I don't know. I guess Clinton ain't here.
He might jump on a little bit because I can't do that stuff.
Yeah. Brian, thank you. Thank you. A lot of people are probably getting theirs today. I mailed out a big box of them yesterday, and I imagine people will get them today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and I can't wait to see the reviews. So, Steve, go ahead and tell the story about how this all came to be.
Well, 5 or 6 years ago, I was really working on my faith and playing in the band at church for 5 or 6 years, and always had it in my mind to do a gospel record because, you know, this is a whole nother story, but a lot of people think that just because of the kind of bands we're in, all we like is metal and punk, which could be about further from the truth. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to do a gospel record, so I think I posted it a couple years ago on Facebook. And when we get to I Saw the Light, I'll actually tell a little story about that. But I know I'd probably mentioned it to you that I was thinking about it, but it just didn't go nowhere.
You talked about doing something and having various singers.
Various singers.
And I told you I would be interested in doing one.
Yeah. So it just kind of lingered. It just lingered until about a year ago. Man, we just got serious about it. It's no secret Jeff's grown in his faith, and, you know, we just started talking about it. And next thing you know, I was up here. I think I came up here the first few weeks.
Yep.
And then it kind of turned into us going to my house because I had the recorder. And, man, it wasn't that we really wanted to keep it secret. I don't think. I mean, it was more just we wanted to have kind of complete control over it and not have any outside kind of opinions about it. So we just started working on it almost every weekend.
I mean, I'm thinking that it wasn't so much a big secret, but we just didn't need any naysayers, or we didn't want too many cooks in the kitchen either.
Yeah. So Jeff was on board, and we started kicking songs around, and I guess that's the next natural segue to the kind of what happened here. But the first song we did, well, we had probably 9 or 10, 12 songs picked. We cut Amazing Grace, which I don't know why. I guess it just didn't work. We had Keep on the Sunny Side of Life, which I still would like to hear you sing at some point, that I know got cut. But I told Jeff early on, I said, man, I want to do Peace in the Valley, but I want to take all the music out of it and just do like a cappella. So that was an early idea.
And boy, I was really nervous about that.
That turned out to be like one of the easiest ones to record.
Yeah, I think, didn't I get it in one take?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But we hesitated. I hesitated.
That was the last one you recorded.
It was the last one we did.
Yeah. But we decided on some Louvin Brothers, which Jeff introduced me to. I'd seen that old cool album cover back in the day that with the devil or whatever, but I didn't know
Satan is real.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it. And he showed me some of that. I had some more songs. We'll just start going through from the top. There's a Higher Power was one Jeff had introduced me to. And with all these songs, I'm guilty in the past, and when I do a cover song, probably just making a dead-on cover song. With these, I wanted to make it ours. You know, we had the same lyrics and stuff, but I wanted to make the song ours. So it doesn't sound like the original, but it's a little bit more upbeat. And to me, probably my favorite song we did, I think.
Higher Power.
Yeah, it just comes right out of the gate, just bam.
Now, see, the thing we were going for, we didn't have a drummer on this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the little bit of drums that did make it on here in a minute. But what we were kind of going for the entire time was like, this would be like if we were just on a porch.
Mm-hmm.
But then we started overdubbing and all that, and maybe we'd have to have 4 or 5 guys on a porch. But that's what we were going for.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what we're going for.
Continue on.
And there's 3 or 4 guitar tracks on each song, but Tutterow, which by the way James Tutterow did an amazing job mixing this thing. But I gave him a lot of options, but he picked out the best parts. So Higher Power, the message is right out there. Bam! It's again. I don't know why we kind of made this decision. I don't know if it was both our decision or what, but for no drums. So I really was.
Well, I think we asked people to play.
I can't remember.
But as you all know, drummers, getting drummers for a project is the most difficult member to secure.
Yeah. And
fortunately, we are very fortunate in the fact that we know so many good drummers. Not a whole bunch, but the ones we know are good.
Yeah.
They're really good. And and rather than trying to talk someone into this and convince them what we just decided, man, we're just going to do it, you know, like we said, front porch, no drum set, and
no click track.
No click track, and you can tell on it. but
Jeff will be singing. I'm like, you didn't get that yet, and I'm sitting there listening to it, going, well, it kind of don't work. Well, anyway, that was just me. So, you got anything else you want to say about that one?
Just that I think right when we did it, I could hear it being the one that would open the whole album, because it, like he said, it's straight and to the point. It's like it's like, well, if you're not sure what you're going to get, well, this song will let you know what you're going to get, and that's the deal. So, go ahead with the next one.
The second one, I was kind of surprised you hadn't heard. Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good by Don Williams. I can remember, I'm not sure when this came out, late 70s, early 80s, but I can remember my mom blasting this thing in the house, dude. You know, I can smell pledge. Like she was cleaning, and I can, you know, my dad wasn't around long, but it seemed like I can remember them both there, which might be a memory. But man, I always wanted to do this song. I just loved it. And when I told you about it, you was like, "That's a great song. I've never heard it." And I couldn't believe it.
Like the instant I heard it, I was like, "Man, I love this song." And as some of my current band members will tell you, man, sometimes it takes me a long time to learn a song.
Yeah.
But I picked this one up really quick. I guess because I really related to the lyrics, and I just thought the song was beautiful, and I was just it took me many passes at this one because I wanted to make sure that it was paying a perfect tribute to the song, as well as trying to let conviction
come through,
and I think we hit it. But that'll be up to you guys that have it coming, you guys that are going to buy it tonight or tomorrow or this weekend. When you get it, man, we want to hear reviews. You know, we're big boys. We can take some criticisms.
This song actually faded in and out too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we couldn't figure out a way to start it, stop it, or what, but it fades in and out, and I think it's the only one that does that. So again, that probably had the most guitars on it too.
Yeah.
Real lush. You go for the third one?
Yep.
All right. Oh, Happy Day. Man, I think I'd heard this maybe once or twice in my life, but I wasn't that familiar with it when you brought it to the table.
Well, I knew that if I ever did gospel music in any capacity at all, that I would want to do a version of this. And man, I forgot that it was on Sister Act, because I didn't. I mean, I may have seen that when it came out. What was it, the 80s or something? But man, I didn't pay no attention, you know. And I was just like,
we'll get Whoopi to sing on the next one. What do you think?
but man, it's like I knew I wanted to do this song, a version of this song, and I brought the version that I learned it from to Steve. And at first I was like, I don't even know how we're going to do that. But man, Steve picked it out, and it sounds so good. And we'll talk about this later, but we finished the entire album, me and Steve, before we got anyone else involved. But the people we got involved on some of the songs throughout the rest of the track listing, man, it took these to another level that even we didn't know. And I hate to be patting ourselves on the back, but we didn't know how good it was going to turn out.
Yeah.
And it exceeded our expectations. Sheila says it's her favorite on the record, and Sheila.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Sheila, I think it's mine too.
I mean, I know she's my wife, and I'll give you all that. But man, she started crying when she heard this thing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think I told you that early on, for a lot of reasons probably, but we got that reaction from a few people.
Man, I'm telling you, I've said this a week or so, maybe 2 weeks ago, that, you know, I always wanted to do some music that would move people emotionally, and that emotion not just being anger, but like ANTiSEEN is known to. I mean, ANTiSEEN makes people have fun too, but so many songs that I listened to in my life growing up have really made me emotional, and I was like, I wish I could, do some songs like that. Now I didn't write any of these songs, but it's the performance that does it. And when we were playing this for people before we got it back in our hands,
Sorry,
but
I was reading that comment.
huh?
I said sorry, I was reading that comment.
But we were testing it on people, just hey, and look, I'm not the guy that says, hey, I got this new recording, and I sit there and play it and look at you while you listen to it, and nod my head like, yeah, come on, let's do it.
I'll get to
Stomp
that
your
on my
feet, clap your hands.
Barry.
Yeah. And like a lot of times I would just play it and look away or leave the room, and it was only Peace in the Valley. That's what we were really letting people hear. And man, men and women both, when the song was over, they were in tears.
Yeah.
And
well, one thing you touched on there that I kind of forgot, but I wanted to document your voice on something, and I know you've done other projects than ANTiSEEN, I know that, but I wanted to document your voice on this, or on this type of music, and we did it. So it's just something I wanted to do. The gravel.
mm-hmm.
It's not screamy. It's just the gravel.
Mm-hmm.
And there was many days, I'm guessing, I'd say 30 or 40 weekends we spent on this.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting the phone calls and everything. But there was many weekends we didn't get one note recorded because of things going on in our life, both of us, or not really laziness, just it just wasn't hitting that day, right? Then there was other times we might have knocked out one or two.
And sometimes, and I'm going to tell y'all this. I'll tell you this. I'm not ashamed to tell you this. Every single time we got together, we prayed over the equipment.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm telling you, Steve was he wasn't very confident in his ability to make this thing work. But see, I didn't have that problem because I had zero confidence that I could make it work. So I didn't have to be concerned with that. And
well, I had a recorder that was 20 years old or more that was locking up on me, but man, that's what I had, and I wanted to do it. So there was a couple times I think we might have lost a few tracks, but for the most part, it was fine.
And man, there are imperfections in it. There are, a lot of pops.
He got rid of
Pops,
it.
but most of them are gone, but some of them are still in there, and they just couldn't be.
Well,
and we weren't even thinking about stuff like that.
We got done with it now, and I think Barry or somebody said, you can borrow that little screen, and I'm like, what screen? I had no clue. I knew what he was talking about.
Well, when the girls came to do their part, they brought mic covers,
and I was like, oh,
which
crap.
we should have thought about.
I didn't think of that stuff at all. Which to me, maybe that's a part of the charm for me is it was some organic coming out in it, unplanned things, or maybe stupidity. I don't know what it was, but I didn't think about that stuff. All right, so moving on. Unless you got anything to say about Oh Happy Day. Wings of a Dove, man, that is 100% on this album because of Jeff Williams. I probably mentioned to him about doing this project before you. And he said, man, if y'all ever do that, you got to do this song here. And he pulled it up on YouTube or something. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'd never heard it. But
From Husky, right?
From Husky. And there's many versions of this thing. Oh, my God.
A lot of these, there's a lot of versions of.
But I just went back to this one. And, man, I had my, I wanted to surprise Jeff. But I was happy that I got my kids to clap on it and stuff. And they got to be on a record. I mean, there's little small things like that, too. But that was... I wasn't familiar with the song, but it came out great, and it's probably one of the one that we knocked out quick. I mean, it seemed like it didn't take long at all, and I was worried about it. It came
together really fast.
I was worried. It's wordy.
It's very wordy.
But I don't think you had many takes on it. You got anything to say about that one?
No. Like you said, man, we knocked that one out pretty quick. That was one of the ones that really came together.
Satan's Jeweled Crown was another one of the Louvin Brothers songs, and I think maybe after the first one was going so good, maybe we said let's do another one of them or something. I don't remember the exact, but that one, again, man, that one, there's some weird stuff with that one. Like in the middle when I'm doing my solo, man, I heard it on the headphone. You can hear like a keyboard or something, but there ain't one. I'm just telling you, think what you want. But there's some stuff on there like that I don't know where it came from. I know one day we were recording, Jeff goes, man, I can hear your washing machine. Right? So I had to delete something. It could be something like that. I don't know what it is, but there were some little nuances on there. But to me, the lyrics of that song really hit me hard because it's something I still fight every day, is worldly stuff, which I mean, I run a freaking collectibles store.
We all do.
You know, so.
We all do. But listen, I'm going to tell you, we had 3 ladies that we had in mind to help us with these things. One was is a member of Steve's church.
Susan Joyner Fur.
Susan, and the other 2 were ladies that were in Barry's Pink Floyd tribute band, and they also did. They worked on 2 ANTiSEEN albums, and I had yet to ever meet them.
The way things work now.
Yeah, the way things are, the way things are now. Like I never met them, and then I got in touch with them and asked if they would be interested in working on this, and they both jumped at the chance, and they said, they both really wanted to do it. So they came to Steve's house one day, and they knocked out all their tracks. But what I want to explain about Satan's Jeweled Crown is this one is just me and Susan. Don't you sing on it some?
I think I'm on it, but I'm buried a little bit, which should be. But yeah, it was just y'all 2.
But Steve played that for me the next week, because see, I didn't meet Susan until the thing was done. I met her outside of Steve's store, Kingdom Corner. You see his shirt right there, Kingdom Corner. I met her out there, and as soon as I spoke, she goes, "Yep, there's that voice." And I was like, "Well, your voice really added a lot to that song." And man, I'm so happy with how these things turned out.
Well, the girls, when they came to the house, man, I think Sheila was out of town, so I got these girls coming up to the house. Me and Jeff's just like, okay. So they come downstairs, and man, it was just like watching 2 angels singing.
Yeah.
I mean, we sat there and looked at each other, and we were like, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I knew they could sing, but it was just dead on.
And by the way, we introduced Susan to you, but we're calling these ladies the girls. But it's Christy Hancock.
Yeah, and Brooke.
And Brooke Boyne Cheryl. And, Christy's here now. Christy, you should have got your copies today. If you don't get them today, you'll definitely get them tomorrow.
And they're 2 of the coolest women. I mean, just to hang out with and playing with them the other day at the show was just amazing. Yeah,
they are also known as the Destructo Divas. So you'll be seeing and hearing more of them as time goes on. But to have them on here, and then see, here's the thing now. We kind of, and this might have been sneaky, but we were trying to keep this from our members and bandmates and ANTiSEEN. But we got to a point where we realized we needed them.
Yeah.
Like we had gone as far as we could go on our own knowledge, and we had to enlist Malcolm, which Malcolm was very instrumental in this thing. And I want to take this time right now to publicly thank Malcolm for all his help, because all his help was post getting the cover done, so he didn't get credited on here. But Malcolm was a very, very big help on this, getting it loaded to the manufacturer, doing everything properly. Now that he's a North Carolinian, we have vowed that we will be giving each other classes on this stuff, so we're trying to keep as much stuff in house as possible. And then there was one song, and the main person we felt that we would get some criticism from. I don't mean to say that in a negative way, but tell the people how you let Barry hear it.
So man, we're sitting at the store one day, and it's hard to explain, but messing with these songs so long, it's not that you forget about them, but I didn't think about it every day. And one day me and Barry was at the store, and I said, "Oh man," I said, "you got to hear some stuff me and Jeff's been doing." And he's like, "Okay, whatever." Expecting a 3-chord pump, And man, I think I played "I Fly Away" first, And he about flipped out, dude. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll tell Barry this to his face. Seeing Barry excited is
Seeing
not
Barry
normal.
excited about anything, man. If I see Barry get excited, I start looking around to see if the place is caving in or something.
But he looked at me. He goes, "Man, that's amazing." He said, "How come you ain't said nothing or something?" I said, "Oh man, I was trying to play it cool, even though I was pretty excited." And then he goes, "I needs a kick drum," and I was like, "I ain't got no drums on this thing, dog." He's like, "No, I need a kick drum." So the only drums on this record is Barry. I guess somebody emailed the track to somebody. I don't know how that works, man. And next thing you know, there's a kick drum on. Well, we'll get that all fly away, but that's how that came about. But we all have different belief systems, our friends, and that's fine. But I just don't care what nobody thinks at this point. I hope everybody enjoys it, and it is what it is. So.
All right. Well, next, I Saw the Light. ANTiSEEN did I Saw the Light.
ANTiSEEN did I Saw the Light. It
was kind of natural that we'd be able to knock this one out of the park quite quickly, and that was the case.
Well, it was odd because, man, maybe it's my brain, but I kind of forgot that I recorded this already like 2 years ago. So I was on the recorder writing down I Saw the Light to name it, and I'm like, there's already one in there. And I clicked play, and it was done. And I called Jeff. I'm like, well, we ain't going to have to put too much time up in that one. But I ended up going back and doing a couple guitar solos to fill a little spot. And then, man, we knocked that one out. That one almost didn't even count. That was a freebie.
And that was also another one that you played that for me after you played Satan's Jewel Crown, that Susan had come and sang along. And I was just like, man, this is sounding so good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she killed it, man.
And then next we did a Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
Man, one of my guitar heroes, very underrated. I could have done 10 of her songs, but again, it kind of, as far as what I thought about it, I wanted to get the gravel. And man, this is like the first kind of heavy. It's not heavy like metal, but it's got a heavy tone to it. And when you hear it, I used Joe's amp on this thing, and I played a guitar solo through it.
You played Joe's guitar on this one?
And get Joe's guitar, and I played like a Jimi Hendrix, because I'm kind of a stiff guitar player to my own detriment, I think. But man, I just went nuts on this thing. I'm pretty sure that was the first take. I think I went back and added some feedback or something maybe, but I'm pretty sure that was the first and only take I did of that. So I was kind of proud of that. But that we talked a little bit about this song because there's not much mention of heaven or anything, or even God, but to me, the up above my head's enough.
But she was known to do spirituals. And on the version we learned this from was a video. Mm-hmm. There was a church choir singing. So to us, it just meant, well, this is a spiritual. She's talking about spiritual stuff. And if I'm being honest with you, of all the songs on this album, that's the one that is most in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so when you guys hear this, you'll know, oh, okay, yeah, there's the Clayton we all know right there. Mm-hmm. But next, and this is for all you ANTiSEEN fans, this one's really going to mean something to you. Go ahead and explain this one, Steve.
I'll Fly Away. I can't remember if that was just I just wanted to do it. I mean, 3-chord song. I mean, I don't think there was any special reason we picked that. It was just, but I had this idea to do this, and I don't think I told you at first. I wanted to do it with Joe's guitar, with no drum. I wanted to do it with him singing lightly, but it's got the ANTiSEEN. If you're an ANTiSEEN fan and you don't give a crap about anything we're saying, there's a song on here that's an ANTiSEEN song with an ANTiSEEN version of a song. So it sounds like I Saw the Light version, but all it has is a kick drum. Joe's sound, definitely not. I'm more of a percussive player, and when I listen to it now, I can hear myself doing this, where Joe would have just let it ring. Mm-hmm. But it's the sound. I flipped the amp on, let it warm up, and so if you're an ANTiSEEN fan, I'll Fly Away sounds like probably something y'all could have done back in the day.
And the thing I really liked about it is when Steve starts it, it sounds like the other stuff on the CD, and then he just lets it kind of fall apart. Mm-hmm. And we didn't clean it up.
Which was not planned. That was just...
No, that was good. We did not clean up when he let it fall. We left it in there, and then it just starts. And like I said, it's not full-blown ANTiSEEN Death Train locomotive, but it's the closest thing you'll get on this record, or on this CD. And
man, it was nice hearing Joe's sound.
It was. And I'm telling you, it was Joe's amp,
and guitar.
Joe's guitar, and Joe's pedal.
It was everything. Yep. And
Joe's rig.
Yep.
Was used on I'll Fly Away, the whole rig.
And I don't even care. I mean, I hope everybody understands what I was trying to do with that. I mean, I wasn't trying to do anything other than just, that was almost a tribute from me to Joe in a small way with that song. But that's the one Barry put the bass drum on, and man, it's probably my second favorite, second or third. I don't know, it's up there. But you got anything you want to say about that one?
No, just that we ended it with like the song ended, and that was one where I really, I think I was really feeling the message of the song when I did it, and I just ended it with Amen.
Yeah.
And we thought about moving the Amen to the end of the entire album, but then we just said, man, let's just leave it right there, because it just came out. That's where it was supposed to be, and that leads us to Peace in the Valley, man. Which we seeing the way it came out, we could have done it at any time, I think. But I was so apprehensive because, man, I know, especially a lot of you guys and gals in your age group, which is our age group, a little above, a little less than, when you think of Peace in the Valley, you think of Elvis's version. I think most of us do. There's lots of versions of it.
Lush.
But you think of Elvis's. And I'm just like, and of course, when he said Peace in the Valley, I'm like, man, I don't know, I can do no Elvis ballad. You want to do You're So Square, Baby, I Don't Care, or Marie's the Name of His Latest Flame. Yeah, I'll do them. But I don't know that I could do this any justice. And so I postponed it.
That was the last one.
For almost a year. I dreaded doing it. And man, I don't know if I ever even told you this, Steve, but the night before, we knew it was the last one to do. And I had trouble sleeping that night because I was that concerned about it. And I was like, what if this just blows up in my face right here at the last song? And so I came, and I know, man, we did our thing. We talked.
Prayed.
We prayed over the equipment. I asked the Holy Spirit to get in me to let me be convincing. And I think it was a first take. Man, when it says, well, I'm tired and so weary, I was tired and weary.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't all roses down there. We wasn't, it wasn't all party. I mean, it was a lot of just praying, talking about life, work. And I'm going to tell you something without getting too deep. When you do something like this, if you believe like we do, you get attacked. So there's a reason it took us a year. But man,
yeah, people don't understand. Man, you know what? We're going to get a little spiritual here on you. When you're doing, see, I want to tell you something. I want to explain something right here. See the back of this cover? See that right there? That's a seed. We're drawing a seed coming up out of the ground. The beginning of new life. And I'm going to tell you what that means. See, Steve and I were taking turns going to each other's church, and I invited Steve to ours one night, and we had a guest speaker. And I'm terrible with names, so I can't remember his name, but he had a book called Seedonomics, which was the process of you sow into what you believe, and the rewards will come back to you. And I'm looking over at Steve, and Steve's just kind of, doing like this, and I'm like, oh boy, I invited him to my church the first time, and he came, and there's an infomercial going for an hour and a half.
He was one of them. He was getting it hard though.
He was hitting it. But when we got outside, Steve looked at me and said, "Man, what he says that's what we're doing, man. The seed. We're going to sow the seed, man." And I'm tell you, this thing right here, to us, and you might think this is corny. You may laugh at us. I don't care. But we said, man, with all the people we know that are lonely, depressed, filled with anxiety, filled with depression, addictions.
And we're not immune to any of that.
Yeah, and they have a void in their life, man. We just wanted to let them know that, hey, we know what you're going through. We go through what you go through, and there is an answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not this CD, but it's the stuff we talk about on this CD, and that is the Lord God and Jesus Christ. And so we said, look, man, we want this. Our first idea for the cover was for it to look like an old hymnal.
Yeah.
But we had a hard time finding exactly what we had in mind. But see, I envisioned an old church that looked like, and now, you know, I want to see if I can say something and you guys know what I'm talking about. You remember the dictionaries we used to look at in elementary school? Big old dictionaries, and they had pictures, you know, little black and white drawings of some of the things.
The diagram.
That's what I want. I was like, church, you know, country church. All right, let me look over here at the picture. This is an old country church right here.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted it to look like, and it off white and everything. And we said, man, we want the only color on the outside to be the seed, sprouting, giving new life, and
that's what we do.
And I want to address some things that people said. Look at Brian right here. See, I want y'all to read Brian Russell's response right there. This is what we're talking about. I want to go back. Someone asked me, will any of these songs ever make it into this ANTiSEEN set? Well, I don't know. I let Malcolm hear it, and Malcolm said, man, these sound like they could be ANTiSEEN songs. And I said, would you be willing to do some? And he's like, yeah. You know, and so who knows? Peace in the Valley has become kind of our staple with this song, with this record, with this, I call it a record all the time, this album, because, you know, it's kind of like the placeholder and the whole thing. And who knows what's going to happen. We've already made some plans that Clayton and Wensil will be playing, and we'll probably, and so I don't want to give no definite plan, but I'm talking about, you know, at our churches, and believe me, when we know it's happening,
you'll know.
You will know it's happening. You know how we promote, and everyone will know. We if you're in the area, we would sure love for you to come. My wife was on here earlier, and she said that she is proud of me and her brother. That's her brother, not her biological brother, but her brother in Christ, and so.
And I do want to do, not to get you off track, I do want to play at the store at some point.
Oh, we are going to play at Kingdom Corner.
Yeah, yeah, I want to get, but
Steve,
I want to get the girls lined up their schedules, and you know, if Malcolm's in town, maybe he can play bass.
Yep.
Hint,
Malcolm's a North Carolinian now.
Hint. So
yeah.
I want that to happen, and it wouldn't be all 8 songs. It'd probably be 4 or 5.
4 or
of
5.
them.
Yeah.
And just even if we did them twice, I don't care. I mean, but I don't think we need to do all 8. But you know, just see what happens. So there'll be some times we'll play this stuff live if you're interested.
And when it happens, we will let you know. Brian also says he needs this on vinyl. Man, that was our initial thought, that we would put this on vinyl, but then we realized that, man, the vinyl audience is a niche audience.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to reach as many people as we could with this stuff, and
I'm gonna grab this way.
Yeah.
Which brings me kind of to the, I don't know if we're wrapping up. This kind of brings me to what I was going to say. This, am I pointing at that? Man, when we started doing this, I did this on purpose. Okay, and I told you might have looked at me like I was crazy, but I kind of kept like a little diary. I mean, I write so bad I can't even read what I wrote half the time, but I kind of kept like a little diary. And if you look in here, man, it's all the chords. It's everything. I guess you can see it. It's 40, 50 pages of stuff. Like Sunnyside, I guess we decided not to do that one. And I did it for a reason. I got more stuff down here, but man, if anybody wants this, I ain't trying to get rich. Anything that, if somebody wants this, message me or Jeff, and whatever you donate is going to go 100% to making more CDs. I don't care if it's $25. This is kind of the Bible, without using a better term, of this record. And man, I just don't collect no more. I don't collect. So if you want some of Jeff's original art ideas, if you want, literally this was with us the whole time. All the lyrics, everything is down here on the floor. If you're interested in it, let one of us know and I'll ship it to you. And it'll go towards making more CDs. Because I think we're gonna get through these 300 pretty quick.
Yeah, we did a little short run of 300. And man, I'm telling you, it's going well. And you know, if you want one tonight, you can go to the ANTiSEEN Big Cartel Store. But you know, if you're sitting there, if you're in the local area now, and you're going, well, DJ Clayton, I don't want to go on there and pay shipping and ship it 2 miles away. Well, then you go to Kingdom Corner.
Yeah, I'll have them there tomorrow.
And tomorrow in Mount Pleasant. What's your address in Mount Pleasant?
1456 North Main Street. And me and my buddy Trip run that place.
Y'all know Trip McNeil, an ANTiSEEN alumni, a fan favorite.
Yep. And we're having a blast. That's a whole nother show we can do one day from the store or something. But we're having a blast there. But they will be available there tomorrow if anybody's within driving distance and wants to come down and get one. And I got a few signed by Jeff. And just in case
like I
anybody
said, we've each got 6 signed copies of our own right here. And if you order one tonight and you want one of the signed ones, all you got to do is say, "Hey, send me one of the signed ones," and it will be yours.
Yeah. And but it was a project. It was divine. It was. This is not a coincidence, and I'll just leave it at that. That this happened. So it was 100% from our love for Jesus. This happened, and if we get to do another one, it'll be organic. I would never push it, but if it happens, it happens. But man, I'm proud of this thing, and I cannot wait for everybody to hear it, because it was a lot of prayers, man. A lot of prayers went into this, and if it convinces one person to believe in Christ, it is worth it to me.
Yes, sir. And let's see, how you want to wrap this up?
Well, man, I said about all I can say. I mean, I could probably talk for hours if I had to, but
well, I will say this. Whether we do another one or not, we're not even thinking about. We want to see how far this one can go. When I say how far this can go, so Amy, you want one of the signed ones? Okay, well you're getting one of the signed ones. You got it. But if we do another one, it'll have to hit us.
Yeah.
The way this one did. And who knows? I mean, we may end up playing quite a bit as Clayton and Wensil, and I just want to thank. Well, you know what? We're missing some people here. We need to thank
Jimmy,
Chrissy Walker.
Yeah.
Chrissy Walker did all this layout. I mean, I laid it. I told her what to do. She put my name first in the credits, but I designed the layout. She's the one who put it together. And that was very valuable work for us. And we will be enlisting her in the future. But see, that's Malcolm Tent's better half. So that's keeping it in the house, like we've been talking about doing.
She did a great job.
And
Tutterow killed it.
Jimmy Tutterow. He has been mixing and recording a lot of the ANTiSEEN stuff for the last few years, starting with Great Disasters, and every single and every album that has happened since then he has worked on, and he mixed this, and you know what, this is up his alley, and And he told us, he goes, man, I am really enjoying working on this stuff, you know. And
which at first I couldn't tell if he was just kidding, but he told me many times that he was happy to be doing something, maybe not as harsh to the ears, you know. Just, I mean, I don't mean like the song, but I'm saying it wasn't like full on. You know,
ANTiSEEN is harsh to the ears.
Well, anything. It was. He's like, man, there's acoustic guitars and stuff, and I was like, yeah. So,
but here's the thing, man. You order it, I'll get it out to you. If I don't do them tonight, I'll do them in the morning, and you'll have them soon. And like I said, please give us some reviews. We'd love to hear your feedback. And as always, I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out with me on a Tuesday night.
Thanks for having me on too.
Yeah, man, thank you.
It was fun. I've never got to do this thing.
No,
so.
I've tried to have you on before, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, this is what better reason.
I know.
Trust me, our next one, if we do it at the store or something, it'll be a lot funnier. Be clapping monkeys and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, believe me, if we do it at the Kingdom Corner, we're going to have Trip McNeil there, and I don't know, it may be 40 minutes of us just making each other laugh, which might be fun anyway. But thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week right here at the same place, same time. It's going to be fun. It ain't no crime. And just, I don't know. If you're praying types, hey, let's pray for the country. Let's pray for the folks out in California. I know there's an unpopular opinion about what's happening right now, but here's the truth. There are a lot of innocent people out there losing everything they have. And I will never, ever, never, ever forget our very own states people right here in Western North Carolina.
Yeah, there's a lot left to
do. Clinton, if you would please put the Encounter Today link on there for people if you want to donate to Western North Carolina. Now, as things go, you know, we're going to try. I guess the country's going to have to pull together to help California too. I don't know though, but the country's changing next Monday, so I don't know. Maybe they won't be left out in the cold like the folks in Western North Carolina are. Literally, maybe things will be better for them, but we can only hope and pray. But just please say a prayer for everybody, and we will see you right here next week. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
Thank you.
See you later.